In a recent video I made, I was talking about the sight, this inner voice inside of us, kind of like our conscience, that sort of guides us and helps us feel if something is right or wrong. And I personally have always viewed the sight, and you can go check out that video, as kind of like a voice from the divine, whatever you believe in. And I think it's speaking to us through that inner voice. I think that's where it comes from. It's my interpretation and my impression, but I had a comment from Sadaqua117 who said, would you consider an intro to practicing this, a class or practical guided meditation from any spiritual belief system you would like? I would be interested in just following along and trying to utilize this sense. I realize it may be innate for some, but a step-by-step attempt to tap into this would be useful. And I thought this was a reasonable request and definitely something to talk about. I think I would start out with adding some context into it. I believe when I'm referring to the sight, at the core level, everybody hears it whether they realize it or not. It's whether or not they want to pay attention to it. It's the sensation that you get when you are about to make a decision. And I don't mean the fear, but deep down inside, I believe most people can tell if something feels right or wrong, something they shouldn't do, if they have shame, but they're going to push themselves through it anyway because their desire or want or need overrides their innate ability to discern right from wrong. I also believe that some people might be cut off from this completely, and I think those are some of the individuals who commit some of the most heinous crimes. Some might have been trained to ignore it or have been numb to it over time, but I think some people probably genuinely just can't hear it or just don't listen, period. So if I was going to recommend some way of choosing to tap in along the lines of what I was talking about when people do like divination of any form, or people that do some sort of meditative exploration, I think it's all about quieting yourself. So there's a few traditions and methods of doing this. There is this method that is considered, according to the sources I've read, to be some sort of like Buddhism type of meditation. And you see this especially when you read up on Zen Buddhism. So Buddhism started out in India. So it's essentially off of Hinduism. And you have this individual, Bodhidharma, who is called by different names based upon regions that they went to. And they inspired different traditions such as Zen, Chan, and Tibetan Buddhism. So you'll have obviously Tibetan Buddhism's in Tibet. Chan Buddhism is in China. The Shaolin monks were Chan Buddhists. And then you have Zen Buddhism within Japan. And it's their way of interpreting and trying to work with these teachings that they got from this foreign inspiration. When it comes to Zen Buddhism, there is this type of meditation that basically is, they call it just sitting. And essentially that's what you're attempting to do. You're attempting to sit and quiet yourself enough to open yourself up to divine inspiration. In modern Reconstruction Druidry, like Neo-Druidry or Druidism is religious, Druidry is spiritual path, at least that's some of the broad categories. If you look at writings by individuals who talk about Obod or Order of Bards, Ovates, and Druids versus those who talk about Druidism like ADF, Enfunk Drain, or Druid Fellowship. Those are just two big examples. There's plenty of Reconstruction movements out there. But, and again, this is modern stuff. You're talking about 300 years ago or so with individuals like the Ancient Druid Order with Iolo Morganlug. They tried to revive and reconstruct. With that, they talk about this thing called Emas in Irish or Awen in Welsh, and Awen's divine inspiration. It's, to me, you're receiving messages from divinity in the same way. You just have different ways of receiving that. And I think that's what that inner voice is, that inner peace in us that knows. Maybe it's more like a compass than it is an actual voice. So when I talk about hearing this inner sight or listening to the divine, I don't mean there's an actual voice. If you're hearing voices, that's potentially problematic. Potentially. I don't know. I don't know who you are. I don't know what you're hearing or why you're hearing it. But when I talk about the sight, from my personal experience, from my personal practice and beliefs, it feels to me kind of like if you had a conversation with someone. So someone just discussed something with you and you're processing what they said to you. The piece of processing after the thing had been said, that's what it feels like to me. So it feels like you're processing someone had said something, but no one said anything, if that makes sense. And how you tap into that, I guess, varies depending on the person. Like I mentioned with the just sitting method, in modern reconstruction within some of the North Scandinavian stuff, you have called utiseta, which is just sitting outside. And from what I understand from the sagas, Eddas, archaeological writings, reconstruction methods, and reading various books, articles online, this is hearsay. Again, if I don't have a source for you, I will call it hearsay. Supposedly, utiseta was sitting outside to speak with, quote unquote, the gods. Now I say quote unquote because, of course, in Scandinavia, gods, goddesses is an English word that we use today because we're speaking English. But they would not have been called gods back in the past. They would have been called by their clan or tribe name, like Aesir, Vanir, or even Utnar. The Utnar were usually not spoken with. You tried to connect with the Vanir or the Aesir in that particular group. But it's the same concept, opening yourself up. What theme that we're seeing is individuals are quieting their mind. When you're trying to sense something with a sight or an information receiving from divinity, and this same thing would apply to Christians when they're meditating, Christian monks, right? Catholics, Christians of any denomination, when they're trying to speak to God, they're trying to open themselves up to the Holy Spirit or to Jesus, and they're trying to receive messages the same way. We are constantly having noise go on in our head, and it's very distracting. Think about it this way. You're trying to have a deep thought and contemplate or work things through in your mind. And as you are attempting to do this, there's a whole bunch of music going on, there's cars outside. It is very hard to quiet yourself. You get distracted. All this extra noise. It would be the same thing as listening to a symphony and you're trying to pick out one instrument. It's the same concept. You have all this noise going on in your head, your own thoughts, your wants, your desires, receptive information that is coming in through your five senses. There's so much to distract you. But this extra thing, some people call it a sixth sense. I think the sixth sense kind of plays into that as well. It's tuning into that one thing. So, a couple methods. The sitting idea that you see as a theme within a lot of these practices, and there's many more that do similar practices, the sitting and about contemplating. I'll throw one more at you because it keeps coming into my head, all the noise. Taoism, they try to achieve the state of pu, or natural naturalness. Wu wei er wu bu wei, action through inaction. So they'll sit and they'll quiet themselves and achieve the state of pu. A state of pu, like a piece of wood, is just wood being wood. So you achieve your natural state. This theme is of the idea of quieting all of this extra noise that goes on in your head, your wants, your desires, thinking ahead, overthinking, anxiety, all of these extraordinary external noise, and pulling ourselves in, pulling our mind inward, and ignoring all of the outside things to just listen in and focus on that one divine inspiration voice that rests deep inside of us. So some of the methods you can use: put yourself in a quiet space so you're not getting some extra sensorial input. You're not, lights, TVs, games, noise, cell phones. Turn that all off. Separate yourself. With meditation, a lot of people will do a gazing thing. So they'll have their eyes slightly open and gaze off without focusing on what they're looking at. If you let your eyes drift to where you're ignoring what your eyes see, you get to a point where you're no longer getting distracted by your vision. That's what you want to achieve. Closing your eyes completely tells your brain to shut down and go to sleep. So you don't want to fully close your eyes. So slightly lidded, slightly open, just a crack of light, not focusing on anything is usually what's recommended. There's different deep breathing exercises. The big thing is to not all crunch up. You want to be expanded. So you want your shoulders back. You want your back straight. You want to be sitting in an upright posture. Some people will cross their legs in the lotus position. Some people will sit in a chair with their feet flat. Some people say not to cross your arms. So lay it on the armrests. Get in a very comfortable position. Eyes slightly closed. No outside distractions. If you can get out into the woods, like with Utsiseta, to be out in nature, it's even more ideal because you have the freshness of nature, the fresh air, and especially if you can go out to a more remote area that's safe, you get yourself away from all the technology waves that are going on in the air. People find that stuff distracting. Whether you believe it or not, there's still waves. It's still real. It's scientifically there, okay? People find this distracting when they're trying to get signals in. So quieting your mind, getting away from the distractions, slowly breathing and focusing on the core fundamental pieces of how the body works, the breath in and the breath out. There's different breathing techniques. Most easy and common one that people use for meditation is like a count breathing. So you breathe in for the count of 3, you hold for the count of 3, you exhale for the count of 3, leave yourself empty for the count of 3, and then breathe in. So there's like a step of 4 with 3 count. You can do a 5 count if you want. You should not be getting lightheaded or dizzy. The idea is to just focus on the air coming in, coming out, to quiet your mind and to give yourself something to focus on. Because sometimes when people try to empty their mind, all of these other thoughts start invading and jumping in. So once you can quiet your mind down, then you want to put your attention and your focus on receiving information from whatever divine source you believe in. Open yourself up to God, to Jesus. Open yourself up to the deity that you call to. Open yourself up to nature, the universe, the source. However you want to think about it. There's no right way to think about it. I know people that believe in religion and spirituality think there's only one way. Fine. Whatever way you think is right is what you want to focus on. That's the important piece. And open yourself up to what's there. Quiet yourself. And like when you're having a conversation, people think not of the conversation, they think about what they're going to say next. Don't think ahead. Open yourself up to receiving and allow yourself to process. When you hear it, and not audible hear it, when you hear it inside, when you hear it with your heart, it's obvious. In my opinion, from my experience, it's obvious. You just feel it. Like I said, it feels like you literally just had someone say something to you and you're processing what they said. That's how I experience it. Likewise, other things that you can do for other type of exercises is focusing your awareness. So listen to an orchestra and pick out one instrument. If you can learn to ignore all the noise around it and focus yourself in on the single instrument, that will help you with this. Another thing that you can attempt to do is, if you are more of a visual person, take a whole bunch of random objects or get a friend to do this, cover it with a paper towel or a blanket, or a real towel, and pull it off, look at it for about 5 seconds, close it, and then write down as many things as you can memorize. The idea here is to get your awareness and focus to not be so scattered. We're so scattered constantly, and taking a few moments to quiet ourselves and calm down in the moment is what can help you to start listening and receiving. And it's all about feeling and opening yourself up versus shutting yourself down or making assumptions. Now, with all that being said, I think there is something to say about being cautious as well, just due to the fact that if you are a spiritual person who believes in receiving messages from things that are not right there in front of you, you want to be careful what you're receiving messages from. It's not just opening yourself up to anything. You want to be very specific. So if you're a Christian, make sure that when you're opening yourself up, you're focusing on the one true God or Jesus, however you decide to communicate. Same thing as if you were doing prayer. If you are an atheist, open yourself up specifically to the universe, maybe. Instead of an actual walkie-talkie communicating with a being, open yourself up to the universe and not specific beings. If you are polytheistic, make sure it's a being that you trust, know, and work with, and make sure that you're reaching out to that specific deity, guardian, guide, whatever the case may be. So that's my advice on that. That's the way I think about it. Again, this is all opinion-based. This is just something to think about and to possibly incorporate into your own practice. So I guess my question here is for you to leave in the comments. Do you practice any form of receiving or opening up your inner sight or your inner vision to speak with something of the divine nature? And if you do, what techniques do you use and what do you reach out to? So now I know some people are going to see this and they're just not open to spirituality. You know what? You're on the wrong channel then, because that's what I talk about a lot. Anyway, I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for checking this out, and thank you for the question.